What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing another small modification to my 2020 Honda Talon 1000x4 right behind me. And what we're going to be doing today is swapping out the shift gate for the transmission shift knob. Now the purpose of me wanting to do this is because the factory OEM shift gate is a little bit chunky. It doesn't feel very smooth when you're shifting from high to low in reverse. And when you're out in the woods and you're not really paying attention looking at your actual shift gate, sometimes it's hard to find the right gear just because it's a clunky layout. And I have noticed that sometimes it doesn't always fully engage into that gear until I move it around and wiggle it a little bit. So the purpose of this aftermarket custom shift gate is going to allow for smoother shifts between high and low and reverse. And the shift pattern is going to be a little smoother so that once you get it into high or low, you don't even have to pay attention to it anymore. It's a forward and back motion to go from high to reverse or low to reverse. So without further ado, let's jump in and take a closer look at this and let's get this done. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the factory shift gate and I'll show you what I'm referring to. So this is the factory shift gate. You have to kind of go up a little bit to get over this little edge, off to the right, come down, and then it's reverse, neutral, high, low, all in the same pattern, but you have to keep going around these chunky little divots here. And I know some of you are probably thinking this is not a big deal or it doesn't sound like a big deal, but trust me, when you're out in the trails and you're trying to go from reverse to high, reverse to low, and you're trying to do it in a relatively smooth, quick fashion, this particular lift gate here is just not a good lift gate. It's not designed for a smooth experience. So this one here has got to go, and what we got to do is put in this new one. So let me open this up and I'll show you what it looks like. So this right here is the new shift gate. So as you can see, instead of going up and over, it's a smooth motion. And then once you come out of park and start coming down, most of the time, you're gonna come over here and go in high or reverse. So it's either high or reverse, forward, back. If you are gonna be getting into some really muddy trails or some rock climbing and you're gonna be running in low gear, you pull it over here and now it's low or reverse. So it's a forward or backwards motion. It's not like off to the right, up to the left, off to the right, up, left. It's not gonna be all chunky. It's a very smooth transition. Once out of park, you're either gonna be in high and reverse or you're gonna come over here and be in low and reverse. So very smooth forward and back motions is gonna make shifting a lot easier, especially when you're out in the trails and you're not really paying attention to your shift gate. You're looking at the trees, you're looking at the divots in the road, you're looking at all that. You're not necessarily paying attention to your actual shift gate. So when you're trying to go from low to reverse or high to reverse, quick and easy, back and forth, this is gonna help you achieve that goal. So this should be a pretty simple install. It's literally just 2 bolts. We're probably gonna go ahead and take the seats out just like this, pull them off, get us a little bit more room on both sides. Take these push pins out along the side. This top plastic cover should pop right off. There should be 2 bolts, one here and one up here, holding the factory shift gate on. We're just gonna have to pop that out, put the new shift gate in, bolt it down, make a few adjustments, and we'll be good to go. So let me start working on taking that apart, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. We did go ahead and get our center console taken out. It's just using a lot of push pins. I did end up breaking a lot of the push pins that were along the sides because they were not these type of push pins. They were a little bit different and they were a harder plastic, so they weren't very forgiving. So once I put my little pry tool here in behind them, they basically all snapped and broke anyways. But not a big deal. I already have a backup box of different push pins I can use to replace them. So again, not a big deal, but that's all it is. You have 6 push pins along each side. Once you take them out, you can go ahead and remove the whole thing. So if we come back over here and take a closer look, there's your 2 bolts, one right here, one right there. Your shift gate will pop right out. This right here is going to be your adjustment knob right here for adjusting the play on your shift knob. So once you put your new shift gate on, if you have to, just go ahead and loosen this nut right here and then take a wrench and turn this piece right here, either clockwise or counterclockwise, to either tighten it up or loosen it up to get your shifter into the perfect shifting position that you like. But again, you don't have to do that, but that's just if you want to fine tune your shift pattern. But just replacing your shift gate should make a pretty big difference. So let me go ahead, take those 2 bolts out, remove the old shift gate, and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. So I went ahead and I got the original factory shift gate removed, and I got the knob off. Now the knob pulls straight up. There is no twisting. There is no little Allen bolts holding it in place. It's basically just a rubber handle that if you really put a little muscle into it and pull straight up, maybe just twisting it a little bit as you're pulling straight up, it literally pops right off. So here's what the shift knob looks like right here, okay? Has these little tiny metal grooves here that kind of pinch it in place, but if you just pull straight up, it pops right off. So that's basically what everything looks like. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray some detailing spray in here, clean some of that mud off, and then we're gonna get ahead and put our new shift gate back on and bolt it down. Now the shift gate that I bought today did not come with any extra hardware. So I'm hoping that I can reuse the bolts that came with it. If not, I'm just gonna have to go into my trusty old bin of bolts here and find 2 new bolts that are gonna fit. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. For now, let me continue cleaning that off and I'll be right back. Okay, so we went ahead and we got the new shift gate put in. So far, everything's shifting really good. I didn't have to adjust my adjustment knob right here, but I did have to use some extra bolts that I had laying around because you do need slightly longer bolts to make this work. So I just used a washer, a lock washer, some blue Loctite, put these new bolts in. This is nice and sturdy, so let's get in and I'll show you. Let's go ahead and turn it on like this so you can see. Now, right here in the middle, neutral. Come over here, reverse, down the low, low. Come up here, over, right there, high, forward, reverse. But this is what I want to show you. So we're in park. So look how smooth this is. I'm going to come straight from park right into high. It's over, all the way down. I don't even have to look at this. Once I memorized it, over and all the way down to the right is high. Now when I want to go into reverse, forward, go back to high, boom, done. Then if I am going to be rock climbing or I'm going up a really steep hill and I really want to drop it into low, come over, low. If I need to reverse real quick, straight forward. Back to low, right there. Come up, park. So this particular smoothness of the pattern allows for so much more ease of shifting, especially when you're not looking at the shift gate. It's very smooth. There's no chunky little divots. You have to work the shift knob around. It's all a smooth motion. So I like this to where I'm in high. If I come to a stop, reverse, done. Go back to high, done. You know, if I'm in low, all the way down, low, reverse, back to low, go over high. Now high will work right here too. So if you're in low and you just come up to right here, it's 1 notch up. So it's low, 1 notch up, high, 1 notch up, neutral, see as it says neutral, 1 up. So on this left side here, if you really want to memorize everything, you know it's low, high, neutral, reverse. But when you're out and about, I primarily drive in high all the time. Only once in a blue moon will I be in low. So when I'm in high, forward, back. That's all I need. If I really want to get into low, all the way back, right there, back up in the park, boom. Everything works. Now, I don't know if this is cut differently, but it just slides right into gear. So here, watch. I'm going to go straight to reverse, straight down to high, come over down to low, back to reverse, go back to park. It just seems to shift so much better now, and I'm really happy with this shift gate. So now that that's installed, I got to go ahead, put my panel back in, put my new push pins in, and we'll be good to go. So let me go do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and I put brand new push pins all along both sides. We'll come over here and take a look at this side. Okay, so all brand new heavy duty push pins all the way back. So now the center console is all put back together. The new shift gate is in and we are good to go. So let me finish cleaning this up. We'll put the seats back in and we'll wrap this up. Okay, so everything's hooked back up. Seats are back in. Everything's put back together. The new shift gate is installed. Everything works perfectly normal. I'm really, really happy with the transitioning of the shift knob through each gear with this new shift gate. I do like this one because it's labeled with your park, both reverses, high and low. There's no other branding on it. So some of them I've seen where they have other manufacturers' branding visible. I didn't like that. I like it to be very streamlined, just like that. And that's why I went with this shift gate. But so far, everything worked out really good. Everything fit perfectly. The only thing I really had to do was sort through my box of bolts and find 2 new bolts that'll fit that. Other than that, everything went in good and we're good to go. Okay, everybody, so we are finally done. So we went ahead and we got the brand new custom shift gate installed on the Talon. Everything lined up perfectly. The only thing I really had to do was find 2 longer bolts in my little stash of bolts. I found 2 that fit. I went ahead and used some lock washers and some Loctite, bolted everything down. Shifting is now nice and smooth. Every gear I shift the knob into, it engages fully into that gear. There's no hesitation. Everything just works perfectly smooth. And I love how you could just shift all the way to the right to high and reverse, just forward and back, or you could shift to the left and go to low and reverse, forward and back. But everything is a nice smooth motion. There's no more chunkiness when you're shifting, especially when you're not looking at the shift gate. Once you gain some muscle memory to remember that all the way to the right is high and reverse, over to the left is low and reverse, that's all you need to know. So when you're out there in the woods and you're shifting back and forth, this new shift gate is going to make it so much more easier. But overall, everything went really good, and I'm really happy with how this install turned out. But that's it for today's video. I hope this video helps some of you out. Go ahead and do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and like this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. And also do me a favor, subscribe to the channel because it definitely helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. So that's it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I truly appreciate you all. Thank you. And as always, see you in the next video.